Breaking news, a Russian military convoy has been hit in a precision drone strike. Details coming in now.
Ukrainian forces have carried out a precision drone strike targeting a Russian frontline command convoy. Initial reports confirm that a Russian military colonel was inside the lead vehicle when the drone hit. The explosion overturned the convoy's armored transport, sending fire and debris across the road. Emergency signals flooded the airwaves moments later. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones hovered above the convoy minutes before the strike, identifying movement patterns and security escorts. Operators waited for the colonel's vehicle to reach a narrow section of the road. Once confirmation was received, a loitering munition was released, diving at high speed toward its designated target. The drone detonated on the front left quarter of the colonel's armored vehicle. The blast ripped through the exterior plate, blowing the vehicle onto its side. Flames flooded the cabin, and dense black smoke rose instantly. Russian soldiers in nearby trucks were stunned by the shockwave and scrambled for cover. Footage shows the convoy scattering as additional drones circled above. Troops rushed to pull wounded personnel away from burning vehicles. Radios crackled with urgent calls for air support and evacuation teams. The colonel's security detail formed a protective perimeter while medics attempted to stabilize him. More Ukrainian drones arrived to assess the damage and watch for reinforcements. Operators used thermal imaging to detect movement within the convoy. Although no second strike followed, the presence of hovering drones prevented Russian crews from regrouping quickly, escalating the chaos. Russian medics pulled the colonel from the overturned vehicle. Reports say he suffered severe injuries from shrapnel and burns. He was placed on a stretcher and rushed into a secondary transport. Soldiers attempted to shield him with metal plates as drones continued monitoring the area. Flames jumped from the colonel's vehicle to two nearby transports carrying fuel supplies. A series of smaller explosions erupted as ammunition ignited. Smoke poured into the sky, creating a thick column visible from kilometers away. Russian troops dragged wounded comrades farther down the road to escape the fire. Ukrainian military sources, speaking off record, confirmed the operation targeted a senior Russian leadership convoy. They described the strike as a calculated disruption of frontline command structure. Officials believe removing high-ranking officers weakens Russian coordination on the Eastern Front. Russian command centers went into emergency mode. Helicopters were dispatched to evacuate the colonel and retrieve remaining survivors. Engineering units were ordered to clear the burning wreckage. Radio communications revealed panic as officers struggled to reorganize without their senior field leader. Ukrainian drones continued orbiting the strike zone, sending real-time visuals of Russian rescue efforts. The aircraft focused on tracking troop density and equipment losses. Analysts note this tactic maximizes pressure and disrupts recovery operations without requiring additional munitions. Footage shows a Russian medevac helicopter landing near the blast site. The colonel, still unconscious, was loaded aboard under heavy guard. Thick smoke forced the helicopter to rise rapidly, rocking from nearby thermal turbulence created by burning vehicles. Intercepted communications indicate Russian units in the region suffered a major morale blow. Losing a colonel-level commander destabilizes tactical planning. Soldiers expressed frustration over repeated drone vulnerabilities, with several units requesting additional air defense systems. Ukrainian analysts say the strike demonstrates growing precision and intelligence coordination. They highlight how drones allow operators to track high-value targets and strike at the exact moment leadership is exposed. This method reduces risk while maximizing battlefield impact. Satellite imagery captured the aftermath. Scorched earth, 2 destroyed trucks, and an overturned armored vehicle. Heat signatures remained visible long after the strike. The convoy's formation was shattered, with debris scattered over a large radius. These images went viral within minutes of release. Russian state media attempted to downplay the strike, calling it a minor roadside incident. However, independent footage clearly showed fire, casualties, and the damaged armored transport believed to have carried the colonel. Analysts labeled the Russian statement a deliberate effort to control public narrative. Following the strike, Ukrainian forces repositioned nearby artillery and drone teams, anticipating potential retaliation. Trenches were reinforced, and operators repositioned launch pads further behind cover. The battlefield became tense as both sides prepared for escalation. NATO monitoring stations tracked the flare-up closely. Officials expressed concern over increased drone warfare targeting leadership convoys, warning that precision strikes on officers could accelerate conflict intensity. Nonetheless, they noted Ukraine's right to strike legitimate military targets. Russian command rushed to appoint a temporary replacement for the injured colonel. Reports suggest junior officers struggled to assume control, leading to communication delays and halted movements across nearby sectors. The strike caused more than physical damage. It disrupted command flow entirely. Hours later, Russian units managed to secure the area. Fires continued burning, but most wounded were already evacuated. The remains of vehicles were pushed aside to reopen the road. However, drone surveillance confirmed the convoy's operational capability was effectively destroyed. The Ukrainian drone strike on a Russian leadership convoy marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing conflict. The injury of a colonel-level commander has weakened Russian coordination on the front line and sparked widespread reaction across military and media channels. As drones reshape modern warfare, leadership positions in conflict zones face unprecedented risk. Russian armored units finally reached the strike location, navigating around burning debris and damaged vehicles. Troops moved cautiously, aware that secondary drones might still be observing. Engineers deployed water cannons and fire blankets to contain the remaining flames. The reinforcement commander ordered a rapid defensive perimeter, fearing another Ukrainian strike targeting response teams. In a secure command post, Ukrainian drone operators analyzed captured footage of the colonel's convoy strike. They confirmed the vehicle was correctly identified before impact and noted how the explosion disrupted surrounding units. Commanders discussed follow-up operations, emphasizing how drone intelligence could identify further leadership targets. The success of the mission boosted morale across the unit. Russian military officials accused NATO of supplying targeting intelligence for the strike, calling it an escalation. No evidence was provided, but state media amplified the claim to shift attention away from the convoy's security failure. Western analysts quickly dismissed these accusations, stating Ukraine's surveillance capabilities were sufficient to conduct such precision hits independently. Residents living several kilometers from the strike zone reported hearing massive booms and seeing smoke rising above the tree line. Videos shot from nearby villages captured distant flames and echoing blasts. Civilians described the strike as one of the largest in recent weeks. Emergency crews warned locals to avoid the area due to unexploded ordnance scattered across fields. Military experts concluded the drone strike had significant operational consequences. The injured colonel was responsible for coordinating Russian movements in a contested frontline sector. With leadership disrupted and command systems temporarily offline, Ukrainian forces gained an opportunity to advance observation posts and strengthen defensive lines. The strike's long-term impact may reshape nearby battlefield dynamics. Conflicting reports emerged hours after the strike regarding the colonel's condition. Russian state outlets claimed he was stable, while intercepted medical transmissions revealed severe trauma and internal injuries. Military doctors debated whether he could remain in command roles. This uncertainty added pressure on frontline units already struggling with disrupted leadership and communication breakdowns. Taking advantage of the chaos, Ukrainian forces advanced a new wave of observation drones deeper into contested territory. These drones tracked Russian troop movements attempting to reorganize around the damaged convoy route. Operators marked weakened defensive positions and identified stalled vehicles, providing Ukraine's artillery teams with valuable intelligence across several kilometers of frontline terrain. Russian soldiers near the strike zone braced for a possible second strike, fearing Ukraine would exploit the confusion. Commanders ordered trenches reinforced and anti-drone jammers activated. Though many units lacked functioning equipment, troops were visibly shaken by the precision of the initial attack, with some retreating to safer positions. The atmosphere remained tense as nightfall approached. Conflicting reports emerged hours after the strike regarding the colonel's condition. Russian state outlets claimed he was stable, while intercepted medical transmissions revealed severe trauma and internal injuries. Military doctors debated whether he could remain in command roles. This uncertainty added pressure on frontline units already struggling with disrupted leadership and communication breakdowns. Taking advantage of the chaos, Ukrainian forces advanced a new wave of observation drones deeper into contested territory. These drones tracked Russian troop movements attempting to reorganize around the damaged convoy route.